Yo, what's up guys, Terrell here. So, instead of making update videos, I think I'm just going to focus on making the content and you guys tell me in the comments what you want and what you don't want, and we'll kind of play a back and forth game until I hit that medium where everyone's happy. So instead of just fucking making an update video about what I want to do, I'm just going to fucking do it and we'll see what happens. So, I wanted to discuss a particular interesting situation that happened to me that may be a weird situation for some of you guys in your relationships with other people, because everyone always talks about what happens when, how do you get the other person to like you, how do you get the other person to want to be with you, how do you get or keep them. That's usually the general conversation that is always had. My question is, what happens when you realize that you might be above their weight class? No pun intended. So the situation I was in late last year, early this year, is that I was in interaction with a girl who was not at my level or speed. And what a lot of people do, and myself included, actually my first girlfriend was like this too, actually. Not, ironically enough, my first girl was more stupid, whereas this one was just more fucking ignorant and stubborn. What happens when you deal with a girl who is too fucking immature for you, to the point where it feels like you had to dumb yourself down or dumb the conversation down to have the conversation? And people need to understand something that's very fucking important, because what ends up happening in a lot of situations is that some people don't want to lose that interaction, especially if you're someone who isn't like the type to get dates easily, or girls or guys interested in them. It's always that, well, I don't know if I'm ever going to get another person, so I might have to settle. The first thing is, don't fucking settle. That's the first thing. And two, if you have to dumb your shit down, it's not fucking worth it. But see, a lot of it, like I said, if you're insecure or you're shy, if you're the kind of person who isn't confident in interacting with people all the time, you get fucking scared. You feel like you're about to get left in the dust and you're screwed. And so people try to hold on to that situation as much as possible, myself included. I've been in those moments. My first girlfriend was like that. We dated for a year, and realistically, I think within the first 6 months, I knew. I'll be honest with you, it was probably earlier than that. I realized that I shouldn't be fucking with her. But it's one of those. It's your own weakness frightening you. And the thing is that some people go, well, man, I can make the girl smarter or the guy smarter. But it's the same thing. It's kind of like how women, for some reason, pick thugs because they think they can fix those types of dudes, and they can't do shit. It's the same thing. You're dating someone who's dumber than you, and you don't want to walk away, so you think you can make them smarter, make them have more intellectual conversations. The reality is, that's not always the fucking case, nor do those people care about being smart or even being changed. They just don't want to deal with that shit. And so the girl I was talking to was more of immature this time instead of being stupid. This is the thing I absolutely cannot stand. And I was surprised, she initiated the interaction. I didn't initiate it. Because when we first started talking, she told me, I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm just talking about being friends. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, I think we were just texting casually as friends for a good, I want to say, month or two. And then all of a sudden, she's like, I think we should start talking. Talking? Isn't that what we've been doing? No, I mean, we should start talking. In reference to, we should start talking for the purposes or intention to eventually start dating. Okay, I'm not used to a woman being this forward. Fuck it, why not? Bruh, she is literally the antithesis of that type of chick who fucking wants the attention, and as soon as she fucking gets the attention, doesn't want it anymore. And I'm like, and I put up with that for at least, I want to say, almost 6 months. And what drove me nuts is that the more I say, you know what, if I'm gonna take you seriously, because I'm the type of dude, if I'm gonna take a girl seriously, I then want to show her how seriously I'm taking it. So I will devote time to interact with her. That was the first wrong move from jump, because girls want your attention, but they don't want your attention. Meaning they only want your attention when you don't want to give it to them or you don't care to give it to them. Then once they get your attention, they don't give a fuck if you keep up that maintaining of giving them attention. They don't want nothing to do with you and actually want less and less to do with you. What makes it worse is that girls don't fucking tell you none of this shit. You have to figure this out through trial and fucking error, and that all depends if the girl you're in talking to is that type of chick. Spoiler, she was that type of chick with me. I just didn't find out until way late in the game. And it drove me nuts because if I brought it up in a conversation, we had the conversation, it was like, oh, we're not even dating. Bitch, what? Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. You're the one who was trying to get us to talk more with the intention of dating. So what the fuck do you mean we're not even dating? Wasn't that the whole point of us talking more? You would think, nah, that's gotta be some bull. That can't be right. And realistically, I knew what it was. She didn't know what she fucking wanted. She had no idea what the fuck she wanted. And realistically, it was my job to be the smart dude and get the fuck out of there. Fortunately, I did do that eventually. It just took me way longer. I hate how that drives me nuts. When you're nice and genuine to a person, and because they don't know what the fuck they're on, you get burned for it. But unfortunately, that's the course of life. That's why I'm telling you guys in the video, you don't make the same mistake I did. Don't put up with a situation if you're dealing with someone who's stupid. If you think the person's stupid, or not as smart, or fucking just naive, or immature as fuck, don't handle it. Just because I don't get that many date requests, or I don't get that many people interested in me, sometimes it's better for you to walk the fuck away than to stress yourself out and emotionally put yourself under abuse for a multitude of months, in some cases years, and some people are even crazy enough to marry these individuals. There's no point doing that to yourself, because the reality is this: they're going to do what they want to do. And that was the case with this girl. She was going to do whatever the fuck she wanted to do. And the reason why I was able to prove my theory that all she wanted was the attention is because the moment I stopped giving her attention, stopped following her, stopped fucking I didn't pay her no fucking mind, ignore text messages, whatever, this bitch had the nerve to call me out the blue. I think this is only the second or third time she initiated a call with me. The first time was when she told me she wanted to talk, and this might have been the second time. And the only reason why did you stop talking to me? Bitch, you became more, and this is what drives me nuts. She became more and more distant as I was just talking to her. And so I'm getting frustrated. So I'm trying to be like, well, what the fuck? How do I approach this? And the reality was that you don't approach it at all. Because if a bitch is going to put me through all that just to have the conversation, and I have to ignore her for almost a month to get a response from her, and then of course the moment I give her the response and say, okay, we're cool, guess what? Right back, like motherfucking clockwork. And I'm like, no, fuck this, I'm not dealing with this again. And then I cut ties. And see, I'm the kind of person that if I can't stand you, you can tell. You can tell if I think you're fucking stupid or you're someone I don't think I'll be able to interact with on a normal level. Because there are girls I've asked out that I'm still cool with and I still talk to on a friendly fucking basis. The ones that I don't, I have never talked to again. And that's literally what happened. Got that bitch out of my life completely. Phone, because I know some of us, and let's be real here, because I've done it too, where you stop talking to an individual, but you never delete their contact out of your phone. You know why people don't do that? Because part of them were kind of like in their feelings still about it. I didn't want to do that, although I did keep it in the phone longer than I should have. And I just deleted that bitch. Because I knew realistically I had no reason to talk to her again. Like, there are some people, some girls and guys you can almost date or be dating and then break up and be like, we can be friends. That's actually a legit thing that can happen. But you can obviously tell when that's not going to happen. And I think really the core of this video is, you are better than that. You know you're better than that. Don't settle for less just because it's easy. Because nothing in life that's worth getting is fucking easy, okay? That's the core of it. But see, because people always talk about the other side of it, about how to get girls and how to get guys and how to get the attention and how to get into a relationship or start a dialogue with an individual. Well, sometimes you gotta realize that sometimes the people you talk to are fucking morons, and idiots, and assholes. And people are like, wow, that's really mean to say. You trying to judge society? Yeah, society's full of a bunch of pieces of shit and dumb bastards. That's literally what it is sometimes. That's not everybody. There are some people who are genuinely nice, and people who are respectable and smart human beings. The problem is most of those individuals are already fucking married, or taken, or they're not dealing with that society that much. You know why? Because it's the same reason why you probably aren't. That's why I said it's probably the hardest thing for introverts to get into relationships unless they're doing it online or in gatherings where other introverts gather, which ironically enough it's more common now than it used to be. But that's just the reality of the situation. Nobody wants to put up with the bullshit anymore, so that's why you do online dating or you go to cons and shit. You pretty much turn any other gathering into a potential dating session because you know damn well you ain't going to no fucking club. But all I'm saying is, because unfortunately, when you're a person who's introverted and not used to getting dates, you feel like you're getting desperate, so you panic every time you get into a potential relationship. You don't want to fuck it up, so you try to hold on to it, even though you know from jump, or at least early on, oh look, this rope has a bunch of thorns in it, and the rope has already been cut. What the fuck am I pulling on? Well, it's actually me doing this. Because I want to hold on to something so bad, I'll create the pull for me to do it. In my situation, that's kind of what I was doing. The girl, as I grabbed, just fucking let go. And so I'm sitting there just holding it like a dipshit with the thorns in both of my hands because I want that tension and I want there to be something there. Ain't nothing there. Shit just goes slack. Unfortunately, I should have grabbed like a piece of floss or something to use as an analogy. Yeah. Hold this as tight as you fucking can. And realize she was never holding on in the first place. It was you trying to create that pull, that feeling. And it's like I said, a lot of you are better than that shit. You're dealing with people who aren't ready for those kind of relationships, who aren't, or just not your kind of person. And just because you're not used to getting dates doesn't mean you can't turn the ones that do happen down, because sometimes it might be better for you in the long run to do so. So that's kind of my general thesis for tonight. Of course, it's like, I don't even know what time it is. I'm guessing it's probably like 10 or 11 at this point. I don't know. I always tend to record videos late at night. Unfortunately, it only happens on the weekends because I don't have work. But what are you gonna do? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. And like I said, requests, topics, all that good shit. Because I'm going to just start throwing a bunch of shit at the wall, y'all. And we're going to see what sticks. For now, I have to go because I have macadamia nut cookies and Arizona mango I want to drink. And I ain't got time to waste on this bullshit. So, I'm going to have to let you go. Goodbye.